everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on Spider-Gwen, issue number 1, mini-series comic review. Now, as you know, the first run of Spider-Gwen had 5 issues that would later get a full-on series. For Spider-Gwen, that was a bit of a wasted potential, and the cover mainly has Spider-Gwen bending down in a kind of colourful, homeworld setting, and it's meant to tell after the events of Spider-Verse. It starts off how a gang of Yancey street gang kids deface a sign, and suddenly you've got their version of Ben Grimm, who's an officer, says, "That's right, you bums, nowhere to run this time." And one of them quickly points out and sees the Vulture, and pretty much they try to make a break for it, and Vulture says, Why do they fear the Spider-Woman for killing the Parker boy?" And so pretty much takes Officer Grimm away, and pretty much leaves a trail of green smoke. So you got Spider-Gwen looking at the news reports, and quickly takes down the Bodega Bandit, who's kind of like the more joke villain, and throws him in a dumpster, and kind of gets messages from her father, and doesn't really know what to do. So you pretty much got Captain Stacy talking with Froggy about what happened to Officer Grimm, and turns out that Officer Stacy is being relieved from his duty because of the mayor and because of his lack of progress. So he's going to be mostly the advice guy to help one officer, known as Frank Castle, who is kind of like that badass who thinks to himself that he's doing what's right, and says, "There you go, Alasky. That's a start," and starts beating the merciful crap out of him. So you kind of got Gwen heading to a job, Dollar Dog, where she talks with her boss about finding the cash register, and kind of thinks she gets a reward, which she doesn't. And she has a look on the TV with her boss, where her boss says, "My son loves this band. I told him girls are enough trouble without guitars." And so they're talking about the events that happened in the Edge of Spider-Verse story, issue number 3, and how Mary Jane, Gory Grant, and also Betty are pretty much becoming full-time singers, and then without a drummer. So you see them progressing with a new member, but to no prevail. So, of course, they do get in a disagreement, which caused Gory Grant to walk out on them. And you kind of got Gwen saying, "Oh, damn it, Glory, why do you have to be right all the time?" And so she pretty much decides to, not contact her father, and decides to kind of find the Vulture, goes to the Yancey Street Gang's hideout, use kind of graffiti in that to kind of leave a signal, which of course she leaves all over the city, and she says, "Come on, Vulture, the streets are watching. I'm calling you out. Your name is..." "Your name?" And so you've got the Vulture heading down, which Gwen Stacy tries to take him out, and pretty much tries to go for her, which he quickly gets out of the way, until she starts webbing him upward, and pretty much decides to let her fall. Of course, she does survive in the next issue, and in which you've got her phone, which is going to be a dead giveaway. And yeah, this is the story. So I would say issue 1 of the 5-part series is actually not too bad. It kind of gives you a glimpse of what her villains are like. You kind of got a different take on Ben Grimm, and it does kind of show it would have been interesting, in my opinion, to have had a series of Gwen in high school, because what made the Ultimate Comics work for Spider-Man was that it took place during high school, which had that kind of young Spider-Man feel. So I think the issue deserves a thumbs in the up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.